Oh no, I've got everything. He's saying, oh, you've messed it up, you've messed it right up.
Today we're in Belgrade, the capital of Serbia. We're having a great time exploring this beautiful city and we're loving getting to know the food culture here. So today's video is going to be all about some real Serbian classics here in Belgrade and some very traditional Serbian food.
Serbian food is very hearty, it's meat heavy, lots of dairy, bread and fresh produce. It is absolutely delicious. We can't wait to get eating. In this Belgrade series, we're exploring Serbian food culture and sharing with you the most delicious food in Belgrade. We take you to the best spot in town for Pljeskavica, a Serbian hamburger. Eat traditional Serbian dishes at our locals' favourite and take you into a Belgrade cake shop which has been serving up Serbian sweets since 1851. You don't want to miss this series. Get ready for some mouth-watering food.
I'm Thomas.
And I'm Sheena, and we're chasing a plate.
We hope you're hungry. Let's eat. We have had a great time exploring Belgrade. It's such a edgy, gritty city, which is very neat to work your way around and sort of discover and uncover. And while we've been exploring, we have uncovered some amazing food. So like always, our videos are heavily researched and we've just found some absolute gems in the Serbian food culture here in Belgrade. And we're starting off today with an absolute gem. This is a very traditional Serbian street food snack, and the place we're getting it just looks like the most traditional little street side window. It looks unreal. Let's go get one.
The Serbian street food that we're heading for is called Pljeskavica. It's a minced meat dish and it's often served in the style of a burger, so it's often called a Serbian hamburger. This place that we're heading to is very old school. It does it very simply and traditionally, and we've heard that a lot of people rate this as the best place in Belgrade to get a Pljeskavica. Let's go and grab one. We're just coming up to the little window now. It literally is just a little window, and all they offer is this Serbian hamburger. So let's go and grab one. Dobar dan. Dobar dan. Kako si? Could one Pljeskavica, please? Hvala, that looks so good. Can I go next door to eat? Perfect, hvala. Wow, so we've got our Pljeskavica in hand and this looks so good and it smells delicious. So it's served very simply from this tiny little window. They've got a sort of a standing area, eating area next door, so we're going to pop in there. How good does this Pljeskavica look? It looks so good. This fella is laughing at me because he's just amazed at how amazed I am over this Pljeskavica. So this little spot is our kind of place. It's super no frills. It is right on the street. There's just that small window from which to order from, and they've got a tiny kitchen in there, just two guys working away, serving up this really traditional Serbian food. So this is one of Serbia's national dishes, and they often call it the Serbian hamburger. So what it's made up of is just this meat patty. I believe it's veal and pork, and then very simple. He said we've got cabbage, we've got onion, we've got sour cream, and we've got chili flakes, and that's all that we serve it with. So we opted for all of it, and then it's between this flatbread called a lepinja. But this is ukusno. Oh, none of this, just the meat. Yeah. Yeah. This guy's trying to explain to us about the Pljeskavica. He's helped himself into the kitchen. Oh, no cabbage and no sour cream. Oh, I think I've made a major faux pas. So this gentleman has said you should only have the onions and the chili flakes. No sour cream and no cabbage. Oh no. Yeah. Pljeskavica, onion and the pepper. Yeah, got it. Oh no, I've got everything. He's saying, oh, you've messed it up, you've messed it right up. You've gone for the whole lot and you shouldn't have. You should have just stuck to the onions and also the chili and then the meat patty. But I'm here, I've just got to get into it. That is very good. What I got a huge flavor explosion of was that meat. So a mixture of veal and pork. It's of a really high quality. It's got a great flavor to it. Well, that's good. I love how simple it is. This guy's showing me, oh, YouTube. Yeah, this is a YouTube video. Okay, so this bloke here actually is the owner of the shop. There's actually a little caricature at the front of him, and so he's showing me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's you. He's showing me YouTube videos of him serving up his. Is that you? No, it looks like you too. So, he's the owner of the shop is showing me YouTube videos of him serving up his famous Pljeskavica to some famous people online. You're very well known. This is supposed to be the best Pljeskavica in Belgrade. The best one. Yeah. So that's why we came here to eat your food. Okay. So he knows what he's talking about when he said you should only be eating this with onions and with chili flakes. So I really have messed it up. So even though I messed up the toppings by adding the cabbage and the sour cream, there are other places around Belgrade, well, lots of other places that actually serve this Pljeskavica with things like tomato and lettuce and ketchup and mustard even. So I haven't, even though I messed it up, I haven't messed it up that bad. What's this? This gentleman's showing me more. Ooh, 822,000. You're on TV. Woohoo! Amazing. Yeah.
Televizija.
Famous.
Politika, časopisi.
Sure.
Sve Serbia.
Famous in Serbia. So everyone who comes to Belgrade has to eat this, your Pljeskavica. Yeah. This is turning out to be such a fun experience, bumping into the owner, having lots of chats. God, this is good. I really love the flatbread that it's served in because it's soft but crunchy at the same time on the outside. And then even though I'm not technically supposed to have the cabbage and the sour cream, it does add a bit of texture. So the creaminess from the sour cream, the crunch from the cabbage, those raw onions really cut through the richness of the meat. The meat is beautiful. And this is such a neat spot. Old school, traditional. We've got the owner of the little shop we've been yakking away, having a great time. He's still showing me all of his YouTube videos. Fantastic. We're going to keep eating, keep chatting, and enjoy this amazing Serbian food experience.
That was such a great start to this video. What a riot of a place to film. Now next up, we're going to a restaurant that is an absolute institution here in Belgrade for serving very traditional Serbian food. So I'm really looking forward to this meal because we're going to get a ton of different, very traditional foods to have. We've ordered some beer to start us off. I find that the beer in Serbia is amazingly good. We've had some great quality beer while we're here. And we purposely came to this part of the world in wintertime. We thought it would be the perfect place to be for the very hearty, rich, heavy food that they serve all in this region. And we're traveling all through this region at the moment. Would be perfect in the very cold weather. But to be honest, I did not expect to be sitting here in a t-shirt in the sun. It's very early March, so it's still just the end of winter, but it is incredibly warm. So pretty perfect for a beer in the sun. We're very lucky, but what we've done is ordered a ton of traditional food. So I think it's going to be great with the beer, sitting here enjoying this spread of traditional Serbian food. Hvala. Oh, double table.
We came to this particular restaurant because we heard it was really popular with the locals for serving up really traditional sort of home style Serbian food. So we've ordered up a bit of a spread. We've got more to come, but what's arrived is the prebana. So this is a bean stew. So beans cooked with onions. Oh, look at that, they look so creamy. Onions and paprika and spices. Then we've got some sama, so cabbage rolls and served with some potato. And then the waiter said that we should try some of their cornbread, so little cornbread muffins. And then these here are peppers, which have been stuffed with cheese, battered and then deep fried.
Voila! Wow, it's huge. Our other dish has arrived, and it is this insanely impressive looking dish here, but I'm going to talk you through that one in a little while. I'm going to jump into these starters first. So I've loaded up my plate with all of these starters, and the sama is such an interesting dish. So these sour cabbage rolls. So let's see what's inside. It should be some rice and maybe some meat. No, it looks like just rice in this one. So rice and a bunch of vegetables in there. I can see some carrot. Whoa, let's just grab the whole thing. It's very soft. Wow, it's very sour. The cabbage is so tangy and sour, and then the rice inside is very soft, and you can really taste the rice. So you've got this sour, punchy kick from the cabbage, and then the rice is very flavoursome in there. I'm getting a real tangy flavour as well, and what I think it is leek. So you can just see these tiny little bits of green in here. I think they're leek. All of those fillings. That is 100% Serbian comfort food. It's just so homely tasting. It's very good, and that cabbage is brined, so it's got that just super tangy flavour. And brined cabbage like that is something you see quite a lot here. It's lovely though, stuffed with those different ingredients, so rice, carrots and leek. Just a lovely rich tangy flavour. And now this pepper, so it's a red pepper with a very thin batter on it. Whoa, look at the cheese. This is deep fried, and it's stuffed with like a fresh white cheese there. Oh, that pepper is going to be so sweet. Oh, that cheese is so good. Oh, perfect salty to tanginess ratio. So it's a fresh cheese, but it's got a little bit of an aged tang going on. And then the pepper is so sweet. The batter's a little bit soft. It's not a super crispy batter, but the pepper and the cheese are incredible together. And now prebana's time. So these white beans, look at that orange. So the orange from the paprika, some onions in there I can see. Whoa. Wow. This is going to sound like a terrible description, but it is very beany, incredibly beany. So obviously the beans taste like beans, but the sauce itself, which is full of that paprika, tastes like beans also. So it's really one very well-cooked bean textured dish. Everything sort of is textured like a well-cooked bean, even the sauce. And the paprika is not too strong, a little bit sweet, a little bit tangy, the paprika, but overall that just tastes like beans. If you like beans, that's the dish for you, and it's very good. It goes well with these other dishes as well, just to balance things out a bit.
One of the things we heard you had to eat when you're here in Serbia is this dish. It's called the Karađorđeva schnitzel, and I'm just going to cut into it so I can show you what it's all about. Alright, so it is essentially a veal scallop. So the veal here is that greyish sort of brownish meat, and then the white stuff inside is kaimak or clotted cream. So it's veal stuffed with clotted cream, and then it is crumbed or breaded and then deep fried. And this thing is really long. It's served with a bunch of potato wedges, and then we've got some lemon on the side, and then this here is tartare sauce. Okay, I'm going to chuck some lemon on top of this schnitzel, and then load up some tartar sauce as well onto it. Tartar sauce seems like a strange accompaniment. We're from New Zealand, and tartar sauce you really only ever have with fish, so it's sort of unusual to have it with meat here. We've had this type of dish as we've travelled through the Balkan region, but it really does work. So we've got the veal, we've got the clotted cream, and then this beautiful golden crumb which looks very crispy. Oh, I'm making such a hash of this. Holy moly, that's good. The veal is very tender. It almost just melts in your mouth. And then when you bite into it, the clotted cream of the kaima just explodes. It's very creamy. And then you've got the creaminess of the tartar sauce. It's got a little bit of tanginess to it, obviously, and it just works. The crumb is really beautiful. It's dry, but it's very crispy. This is a very tasty dish. The veal is quite subtle in flavour. The crumb is really crispy, and I love that unusual filling of the clotted cream. I'm glad that it is the size it is. It's pretty massive. Otherwise, Thomas and I would be fighting over it. Now, the waiter said that we should try some of their little cornbread muffins. So let's just see what's inside. Oh, look at that. It's stuffed with a white cheese. You can see those little globs of white cheese in there. It's very light and airy. I think it'll go well with the beer, actually. Cheers. This is such a good spread. We're just going to tuck in and get into it.
We are full to the brim after all that traditional food. That was a very neat meal, super traditional, and so lovely sitting outside there to sample all those dishes. So we're going for a bit of a walk around the city, get our appetite up on the way to our next stop for our next lot of food.
We love showing you the traditional sweets of the countries that we're travelling in, because sweets, desserts, pastries, they are a very integral part of most food cultures around the world. Now, the next spot that we're going to is famous for having the best cakes in Belgrade. It's been around since 1851. It is the place to go for Serbian cakes, and we're just coming up to it right now. I'm so excited about this. Ramadan! There's so many delicious looking cakes in here. Marlene, and is this the tres leches? This cake shop has a great feel about it. It feels old. It's got marble floors. There are black and white photographs of old Belgrade. It feels like it's been around for a long time, and I mean it has. It's been around since 1851, and it's still family run, I believe, and the array of cakes on offer is absolutely dazzling. It was impossible to make a choice, but we did settle on two. The first one is a real traditional Serbian cake. It's called a reforma torta, and it's made up of walnut sponge layered with walnut and chocolate cream. And then the next one, I'm not sure that it's strictly Serbian, but it's called a tri leche cake, a 3-milk cake. And we've seen this cake in virtually every bakery that we've been to in Belgrade, and we've been to a lot of bakeries in this past week. So we thought, you know, we've got to try it. It seems to be a real local's favourite. Let's get into this reforma torta. So this is a cake which is often served at celebratory events, so birthdays and graduations and anniversaries and whatnot. And it's made up of lots of different layers. So there's walnuts, there's walnut cream, there's walnut sponge, there's chocolate. That's so good. It's the walnut sponge is quite light, and then the cream, the chocolate cream, just sort of melts in your mouth. It's really beautiful and very light. The walnut flavour is quite strong. Packed full of walnuts, and I love that it's not overly sweet. It's the perfect amount of sweetness. Okay, this 3 milk cake is calling out my name. So some recipes have condensed milk, evaporated milk, and just plain cow's milk. I'm not sure what this one has. Let's just taste and see what it's like. Whoa, that is so good. If you love creamy desserts, this is the one for you. So essentially it's just a sponge cake that's been soaked through. It really just tastes like milk and cream. It's not overly sweet, like with condensed milk. It doesn't have that flavor. It's just a really beautiful dairy flavor, and it's got this lovely like burnt caramel on the top. It just dissolves in your mouth into a creamy puddle. It's very light and airy. That is so good. This has been such a great day of eating in Belgrade. Serbian food is very vibrant, and it's just hearty, and it's got this beautiful home cooked quality about it. I really, really love it. We've had a great time filming today in Belgrade. We filmed another one in this series, so make sure to check it out. Hit the subscribe button for more food videos from this region, and remember to hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed the video.